Hi everyone, back to the session. Methods of teaching. As we consider the methods, there are four methods. First thing is teacher centered, learner centered, content focused, and interactive and participative. As we come for teacher centered method, the knowledge here, what is impacting is it's from a teacher to the learner. So here the students play a passive role, the teachers will be active. So the students will get what the teacher says. So, the emphasis of knowledge is from outsiding the context which will be provided by the teacher to the students. Here, the teachers play a primary role. The teachers get assessing and he will separate the students according to their levels. Here, the assessment is monitoring the students. So, emphasis is a right answer for the teaching learning process. The decision learning is assigned indirectly through the score test. Here the focus is on single discipline, not on the multidisciplinary activities. Here we are encouraging the competitiveness and the individualisticness. Here we all focuses on only on the marks, not on the result or the achievement of the students. Only the students are viewed as learners. So as we come for learner centric, the students have their own knowledge. They'll gather their ideas and information about the subject. They'll analyze and identify the problems in the subject. They try to solve it. Here the students always be in active level and the teachers always be in a passive level. The emphasis here is they uses the real life examples to get rid of the problems. The professors will coach and they'll support in the research work. Here, the teachers are assigned and intervened. So, the teachers as ideology that has been tested by the students. Here, they promote and diagnosis the learning. They'll always encourage the students in their research areas and they'll try to make them to sort out their problem solving methodologies. Here they'll have a better questioning. They'll have an interactive session with the teachers to get out of the answers for their problems. They'll publish their papers in the journals conference and they have the portfolio of their research work. They'll have interdisciplinary activities. They are mastering in multidiscipline activities. When we come for computer science research work, we'll not only focusing on computer science, they'll focus on the maths, biology. They'll have a combination of all these papers, physics. Likewise, every subject is interrelated to some other subjects. We have to focus on all the subjects. Here they'll try to have a group discussion. They have a prior committee meeting. They cooperate with each other. Here the students and teachers learn together how to sort out their real life problems. So next thing is contest focused methodology. So here the subject matters. Here the information what we thought it should have a value and it should able to sort out the real time problems. The teacher has to coordinate with the students to sort out the problem and the content provided by the teacher should be related to the problems associated with it. Interactive and participative method. So each student is assigned a task and everyone should have an interactive with the teachers with the content what she is providing and everyone has a right to ask and everyone is advised to participate in each of the tasks. Let's think of a function organized in a colleges. So we have to assign the work to our higher authorities. They'll assign the work for the next level of teachers and the teachers will assign the work for the students and everyone get participated and everyone have their chance to exhibit their unique talents. So what is offline versus online? So when we go for the offline education, it is a pre-technology education. Here there is a only one-way flow. Only teachers try to talk and the students never have an idea or a strategy to go. They'll use only the old chalk and talk method. It's like plug and play. Once you started playing, they'll play. Once the teacher started to thought, she'll thought throughout the house. So there is no changes in the flow. And the third thing is the teacher doesn't know whether he is listening or not. He shall try to continue the classes throughout the day. The interaction is so limited because there is no sufficient time for the teachers to continue their classes. They have only a few time So they have to complete their syllabus within the time limit. They don't have an interaction with the students. They doesn't know whether they understand or not. Here we focus only on the marks. As we consider for their state board exams or a central exam, we'll consider only on the marks, not on the result what the students gained. So the result, what we are trying to say is the knowledge what he has gained through the subject. We'll just focus on the marks and how much marks, and our education system is completely based on marks. So the percentage of marks will decide their higher educations. So they'll just start to work it like a bookworms. They'll mug up, they'll summarize, and they'll repeat what they have mugged or summarized. So let's come for the online teaching. It is easy and it's accessible. You can learn from anywhere. There is no cost for learning. The content can be accessed anywhere and it is updated. And we have a vast range of training institution. It is from worldwide. You don't have to spend much more for it. And we have a direct access with the trainer. They'll automatically or immediately clarify our doubts. It's a two-way communication. As I said, there are advantages. There are some disadvantages also with the online learning. The students' feedback and assessments are limited. They can't able to give their feedback whether it is good or not. They can't able to decide a multimedia courses. So they can't able to do multiple courses at the simultaneous time. The network is a problem. Once we are going out for the online classes, we don't have enough networks to go out the classes. It is highly costly because of the net packages and the bandwidth, and because of low bandwidth we can't able to complete their classes. There are a lot of interactions and interruption between the classes. There is a lack of personal communications and connection with the teachers. So the major important online portals are Swayam. So Swayam, what we call as steady webs of active learning for young aspiring minds. It is a free online web portal for free web courses. It is launched by the Ministry of Human Resource Development under Digital India process, and it is honored by our President of India in July 2017. So Swayam has more than 2000 courses at the free of cost. So next we have 9 coordinator for Swayam. So that is AICTE, NPTEL, UGC, CEC, NCERT, NIOS, NGNOU, IIMB, NITTTR. So next thing is Swayam Prabha. Swayam Prabha is a 24/7 educational channel. It has 32 channels for higher education, school education, curriculum based courses, and for assisting students. It has classes from class 9 to the higher studies and for professionals also. And the last thing is MOOC. It's a massive open online course. It is an open registration portal. You have many learning communities. They'll provide badges for the successful candidate. They have the role of an instructor also. It has a start and end date. It has a free of cost. It has an open content for all the subjects and etc. So thank you everyone. If you have any doubt, please WhatsApp to me. I'll get back to you in the next session. Thank you.